you got to make it do it because you know what? I'm looking to jab. So if I be jabbing, you gonna try to hit me.
Mike Tyson loses it on Evander Holyfield for training Jake Paul to fight against him. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is awakening more historical events than we thought. The matchup on July 20th has brought the baddest man on the planet back to the boxing ring.
In the 6th round of the first.
Look at how Tyson got in trouble. Whang! There went that punch.
And again, it has brought back a long-time beef that has since been settled between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson has expressed his shock and disappointment on Evander Holyfield's decision to train his upcoming opponent for the highly anticipated July 20th showdown. Several footages of Jake Paul and the former world heavyweight champion have been doing the rounds on the internet.
So you got to make it do it because you know what? I'm looking to jab. So if I be jabbing, you gonna try to hit me.
In the videos, Holyfield was seen handing Jake Paul some lessons and training him on some boxing techniques. He gave instructions and directed Jake Paul, as the problem child was seen listening to his trainee with rapt attention. However, Mike Tyson isn't having any of it. He's come at Evander Holyfield with a rage that has made many relive that night in June 1997. Though so much had changed since then, many couldn't just help but bring back those old memories. Both men, well known for their infamous and controversial bite fight in 1997, had since reconciled years after their careers ended. And in fact, both men have had a good relationship until recently, where Evander Holyfield's latest move may have wreaked some irreparable havoc on a relationship that's taken them years, efforts, and forgiveness to build.
What is this? What is this? I got you your ear. No, it's not. This ain't my ear. Yes, it is.
Why you ain't invite me for the hot?
Talking about their relationship, their famous reconciliation was aired many years ago, and it's been greener for both champions ever since. In his apologies, Tyson said, "This is a beautiful guy. Me and this guy both basically come from the sewage, and we watched each other grow to become established and esteemed fighters. And I just want you to know it's been a pleasure path unto life being acquainted with you."
And there's this guy, that guy. This is a beautiful guy. Me and this guy both come from basically the sewage, and we watched each other grow to become established and esteemed fighters. You know what I mean? And I just want to know, it's just been a pleasure.
But with the recent twist of events, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield might be recreating another rivalry even after their retirement. After Holyfield revealed he was going to be Jake Paul's trainer for the July 20th bout against Mike Tyson has come with some devastating words and disappointing claims for Evander Holyfield. Tyson, responding, made reference to the boxing match between himself and Evander Holyfield from 27 years ago.
I have 400 pounds. I haven't seen my baby.
I remember this.
Oh my God. How was that experience?
It sleeps with me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
How?
And according to him, he had thought everything was settled between him and his former rival him after he tendered both private and public apologies for biting off his ear in their famous. His comment sounded like one who had been betrayed and snitched on. In his exact words, Tyson said, "I expect the worst every time. Never knew all we did was for the camera. People reveal their real selves in the dark. It's not even dark yet, but I'm seeing who Evander Holyfield is. I don't get his reasons for doing this. I can't just explain." Tyson wouldn't stop without making guesses, he said. "He could want a defeat for me because he suffered in the hands of Belfort. That's no fault of mine. But if this is how he wishes me well, it's cool. I don't know if he's trying to force the relevance of what exactly he's doing." Moving on, Tyson gave Holyfield some more dangerous word bites. "I just see him as a very confused old man who's finding his way desperately into the very top. That's what differentiates the both of us. He left boxing and can hardly be remembered anymore. But the baddest man on the planet remains everywhere after 19 years. I wouldn't want to say some secret things in public, but I know how Holyfield feels about me. I've heard some of his comments from people. I don't believe when people speak bad about others, but Holyfield has proven them right. His cunning personality has been exposed with this. What more can I say? I'm disgusted, but I'm not threatened. Jake Paul is my victim, and even if it was Holyfield, he'd be a victim as well. Tyson poured more stain on Holyfield's linen. He's recalled his match against Evander Belfort and called it funny that he couldn't go beyond a round in his exhibition fight. Talking about Holyfield's training session before the famous exhibition match back then, Tyson heartlessly compared his speed with the movement of a snail.
Todd Grisham, Sean Porter, and 50 Cent here ringside at 50. Just looking at Evander's physique, how impressed are you?
Oh man, that's 58.
Jake Paul is so funny. He wants to train for me, and he gets a man who can't stand in the ring for a minute. You saw his fight with Evander. His punches are like the movement of a snail, and that's who Paul gets for me. That's backwardness. That slowness is infectious, and I feel so much pity for Paul if that's how he now fights. Iron Mike is coming like a fierce wind.
Here for this fight.
Tyson tore Holyfield apart with his words the more, and claimed he'd set a record for beating not only Jake Paul, but ensuring his cornermen, including Evander Holyfield, have a bitter taste of defeat. I feel all of this comes because he beat me twice. I don't blame him. He beat Elm twice, so he must have told the guy he can help him do it. He must have told him he understands me so well, but I'm glad to tell him that he knows absolutely nothing about me. And when I come in 4 months, I'd be a wild beast. I won't just eat up Jake Paul. I'd finish everyone I find in his corner as well. I'm ready for y'all. Mike Tyson wasn't done. He had some excuses for his defeat and some advice for Holyfield as well. When I lost against you, I had crisis around me. A stable Iron Mike wouldn't lose against you, not even once. You came at your best time and my worst, and you were lucky. You don't get greatness in 2 victories. Your style, your class, your person, and your impacts bring you greatness. You beat me twice, but none of the new guys point to you as a model. They see me all the time. You have the belts, you have the records, you have everything, but you have no greatness. To get that, you learn from a great one like me. Finally, Mike Tyson reminded Holyfield of his losses and called out Jake Paul not to be carried away by the 2 victories Holyfield had over him. Holyfield had 6 losses as well as Mike Tyson, and Tyson was given both the trainer and his trainee a reminder of that fact. You've forgotten Evander isn't invincible. He had losses as well. Whatever brought Evander his losses will bring Jake his on July 20th. In remembrance of Holyfield's first ever loss, he had his first bad outing against Bo. Holyfield, who was the world #1 contender, fought Buster Douglas in the first defense of the title he won by upsetting Mike Tyson 8 months earlier. Holyfield defeated an out-of-shape Douglas by knocking him out in the 3rd round, having made 3 defenses of his 3 titles entering this fight. The first was against George Foreman, the former champion who was attempting to become the oldest heavyweight champion ever. After winning a unanimous decision, Holyfield signed to fight Tyson in 1991, but Tyson pulled out with an injury. Instead, Holyfield took on journeyman Burt Cooper and suffered his first career knockdown, nearly falling to defeat before rallying to knock out the lightly regarded contender in a fight that the WBC refused to sanction as a title fight. The planned Tyson fight was then scuttled altogether after Tyson was convicted of rape and incarcerated in early 1992. With Holyfield in need of an opponent, undefeated Riddick Bowe emerged as the frontrunner to land the next shot at Holyfield's undisputed championship. Holyfield's manager Shelley Finkel and Bowe's manager Rock Newman were nearly able to get a deal done shortly after Tyson's conviction, but it fell apart after the 2 sides could not agree on financial issues. Eventually, Bowe landed a #1 contender match with Pierre Kotzer, which he won by 7th-round technical knockout, earning the right to challenge Holyfield for his undisputed heavyweight championship. Meanwhile, Holyfield took a tune-up fight in June 1992 against another aging former champion in Larry Holmes. Although the 43-year-old Holmes had won 6 consecutive fights after recording what were his only career losses to that point, which were his 1985 title-losing fight and 1986 rematch with Michael Spinks, and his 1988 comeback fight against Tyson. Holyfield emerged with another unanimous decision win against Larry Holmes. Holyfield then went on to face criticism for taking the title from an uninterested Douglas, and then defending it against two past-their-prime fighters in Foreman and Holmes, while also nearly getting knocked out by the journeyman Cooper. As a result, some in the boxing world looked at Holyfield's match with Bo as a way for the champion to legitimize his reign and earn the respect of his doubters, despite already holding the undisputed title for 2 years. After the bout, Bo defeated Holyfield by unanimous decision, winning all 3 judges' scorecards by scores of 117, 110, 117, 110, and 115, 112. Though he had been a 7-5 favorite, Holyfield had difficulty trading punches with the bigger, stronger, and younger Bo. Bo landed 53% of his 248 thrown punches, while Holyfield only managed to land 39% of his 161 thrown. The fight is perhaps best known for its 10th round, during which Bo started strongly, hitting Holyfield with several powerful combinations. Holyfield, however, was able to weather the storm and dominated the second half of the round, landing several combinations of his own. Bo did better than Holyfield in round 11. Bo hit Holyfield with even more combinations, eventually hitting Holyfield with a right hook before knocking Holyfield down with a right hand to the side of the head. Though announcer Jim Lampley claimed it would seem like a miracle for Holyfield to finish the round, Holyfield somehow managed to survive the remainder of the round. Knowing he was behind in the scorecards and would need a knockout to win the fight, Holyfield was aggressive in round 12. Bo was able to withstand Holyfield's offense throughout the round and was named the new heavyweight champion via unanimous decision thereafter. Holyfield suffered his first loss from Bo, but had 5 more before the end of his brilliant career. However, one of Evander Holyfield's greatest records is that he remains the only boxer to have beaten Mike Tyson twice. There is surely no gainsaying that Holyfield does know how to beat Tyson. Him training Tyson's next opponent ahead of an exhibition match is synonymous to passing down top trade secrets. However, given the close relationship between Tyson and Holyfield, this could be very much interpreted as a betrayal from Tyson's perspective. Tyson, though full of the greatest respect for Holyfield, had openly admitted that he was surprised he beat him in 1996 and 1997. "I just thought he was awesome. I had great admiration and respect for him, but I never thought he could beat me. And I won the first round. This is what amazed me about him." The respect shared between both athletes is mutual, and Evander Holyfield had once opened up as to how much of an inspiration Tyson was to him at the start of his career and during his career. "Mike worked very hard. He's the only person I can almost say trained harder than me. I watched him and I said, God, man. He never stood about. He trained so hard, and so even when he left, Mike can hit that bag for 3 minutes all out. People tend to make up excuses. Mike Tyson is a small person. He hit hard, but he got short arms. I've seen Mike whooping people who are 6.4, 6.5, 6.6, and they outweigh him by 20, 30 pounds. He beat the daylights out of them. I figured if Mike can do it, I can do it. That gave me inspiration. I was pretending like I was hurt really bad, but I wanted to bite you right in your face." Holyfield also said in reference to the controversial incident when Tyson bit off his ear.
People tend to make up excuses. Now, Mike Tyson is a small person.
Right.
He hit hard, but he got short arms.
Right.
And so I seen Mike whipping people that 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". And they outweigh him by 20, 30 pounds. He beat the daylights out of him.
Right.
I figured if Mike could do it, I could do it.
In another interview, Holyfield excused Tyson's inappropriate act and attributed it to a couple of factors, but still insisted he wanted to bite him back. Anger, disappointment. I wanted to bite him back, but I chose not to. Evander Holyfield has also publicly come out to state that he has forgiven Tyson for the infamous incident, and he also expressed his reasons as to why he forgave his former competitor. Life always been great because the whole big thing is me displaying that I will forgive. Because that's all people asking. How were you could forgive somebody? I said everything that ever happened at some point in time, I did it. I said, Mike bit me? I bit somebody too.
Life always been great because the whole big thing is me displaying that I will forgive, because that's all people ask me. How in the world you can forgive somebody? I say everything that ever happened, at some point in time I did it. I said, now Mike bit me, I bit somebody too.
Both fighters might be in good terms post-retirement, but there is that sensing that Holyfield might be interested in getting in the ring with his old rival again. Holyfield himself has refused to rule out the prospect of fighting Tyson again, but in a trilogy, as he stresses that it won't be in a real fight. We do it, make some money that we probably wouldn't be able to make. So the big thing is fighting something that we both can do that we understand. It's not a fight. It's showing some kind skills, but it's not a real fight. We're not trying to kill each other. Tyson, on the other hand, has also never shied away from engaging in another exhibition fight. The 57-year-old had come out of retirement to fight Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, and when asked about the possibilities of engaging in another fight, he had always expressed readiness. I'm past my prime now. It's not going to be easy in the ring anymore, but all I got to do is get in shape. Speaking on a possible exhibition match with Evander Holyfield, Tyson said, "Evander is a top dude, lovely guy. He gave me a hell of a time when we came up against each other twice. I bit off his ear in the second match in 1997, but I already apologized, and we're good now." If it's an exhibition fight, then I'm ready. I'm always ready. It will be for the fans, the buzz it's going to create, excitement, the money it's going to bring. It's going to be incredible. Proving his words to be true, he recently accepted the challenge to return to the ring once again and face a man who is 31 years younger than him. And despite the age gap, he embraced the challenge wholeheartedly, like he had always done in the 80s, 90s, and the early years of the 21st century. "Let's do it, Jakey," he once said sometime when quizzed about a possible fight with Jake Paul. However, the talks of an exhibition bout between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield had been ongoing long before the possibility of Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul came up. And even when the fight between Paul and Tyson became official, rumors of a boxing reunion between Tyson and Holyfield have refused to go away despite their newly found friendship. Furthermore, Holyfield's involvement with Jake Paul ahead of the fight with Mike Tyson has further fueled talks about the possibility of Tyson getting back in the ring with his former arch-rival. Holyfield's latest actions have been interpreted by many to mean him trying to get involved as much as possible in the exhibition fight between Paul and Tyson. And while this perception might be inaccurate, it reflects an existence of a possibility that cannot be shied away from. With several titles between both boxers, the thrill of having both in one ring again would excite many. A trilogy definitely has the potential of culminating into an all-timer boxing event. Both boxers were reported to have sold 1.99 million pay-per-views and broke revenue records when they faced off for the second time in 1997, and the figures another face-off could generate is a no-brainer. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is set to be streamed on Netflix, the first of its kind to achieve such feat. In fact, it is the first sporting event to be streamed live on the platform. There is no denying that both fighters will earn some cool cash after the fight, and according to reports, the fight could cough out about $300 million. Jake Paul confirmed this just before the contract was made. That would actually excite me, and that's a $300 million event. So Mike, if you're watching this, let's have some fun. New school versus old school, I think that's something the fans want to see. Of course, fans have been looking forward to the bout on July 20th. Both fighters represent two different eras, the past and the present. And if a Tyson-Paul fight could attract this much viewership and buzz, many suggest it could even be more with Tyson-Holyfield. Two fighters who were an absolute menace during their era, both still famous and relevant in the boxing world with their fight in 1997, chiseled into the heart of many boxing fans. In 2022, Both Tyson and Holyfield came together in a reunion and partnership that saw them get involved in advertising a brand revisiting their now infamous bite fight 27 years ago. We reached out to Holyfield a year ago and it didn't work out. But a few weeks ago, Holyfield reached out to Ric Flair, wanting to be part of it, so Mike and I made it happen, said Chad Brostein, co-founder of Tyson 2.0, after pulling off the partnership, which was once deemed unlikely. It could most likely be the same story and the same outcome if a boxing ring reunion gets on the cards. If you enjoyed this video, kindly react by hitting the like button. Also, if you'd want to keep getting the very best of updates in the world of boxing and quality contents daily, do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications as well. Until next time, peace out.